Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is RS Floyd 84 coming back yet with another comic book haul. This is probably going to be a long haul. Just got back from the Fanboy expo in Tennessee and got a lot of great books. This is all from one vendor, and since it was Sunday, he was selling whatever he had for $2 a piece. So these have price tags on them, but it doesn't matter what the price tag says. I got everything, every single issue for $2 a piece. It was actually way better than the Motor City Comic Con. There was a guy there with some decent prices on some Invincible issues. But I would have left with only like 5 books if I would have bought the Invincible ones. I did have a $300 budget, somewhere around there. But but my local comic shop, he put out some new books, and I ended up buying some bigger books, which I'll show at the end. But everything you'll see here first is from the Fanboy Expo. My wife dragged me there, and I'm glad she did. She wanted to see Steve from Blue's Clues. So, but here we go. We'll get into the haul and see some comic books. This is Homage Studio Swimsuit Special. I think this cover's by Jim Lee, and this features the first artwork of J. Scott Campbell, and I think he goes by Jeffrey Scott in this issue, and also the first artwork of Brett Booth, which I think he's known for Backlash, and he did some of the Wildstorm Studio artwork, but really cool, just a cool swimsuit issue. Like I said, all this stuff is $2 a piece. We got Image Holiday Special 2005. This is a early story of Walking Dead and Invincible, and also this is Frank Cho art featuring Liberty Meadows. So couldn't pass that up. And then I also got some Liberty Meadow issues. Got this issue. I don't think these issues are numbered. I think they are, but it's not numbered on the cover. But Frank Cho, he's really into the art, so I think I'll collect more Frank Cho if I see it. I hardly ever see these issues, Liberty Meadows. I know at one time my local LCS had these, but he had them like $10 to $20. I'm not sure if he lowered the price, but and then one more Liberty Meadows that I found. So couldn't beat that for $2 a piece. And this is going to be a long video. I bought 59 books for $2 a piece. We got Solid Blood 17. This is a I think Michonne death story in an alternate universe. Also, it's Robert Kirkman and Ryan Otley who did Invincible. So bought that. Thought that was pretty cool to grab. And then these next issues are a bunch of Savage Dragon issues. A lot of low print run Savage Dragon. We got Savage Dragon number 117. Savage Dragon 118. And then we got Savage Dragon 119. He's punching George Bush in there. We got Savage Dragon number 138. And like I said, I couldn't pass these up. And these are in pretty decent shape. Couldn't pass these up for $2 a piece. Savage Dragon 151. So we got, and some of these are keys, but I can't remember what they are. Savage Dragon 153. And some of these print runs on these Savage Dragon are like only 3,000. It's like crazy, even with variants. Savage Dragon's 155. Savage Dragon 161. Savage Dragon 162. We got Savage Dragon 164. Cool covers, man. Eric Larson is, I do like his artwork. This is Savage Dragon 194. I think these are when it starts to get to the 3000s. So only like 3000s of these printed. And like I said, that includes variants on most of these. Savage Dragon 196. Savage Dragon 198. And then Savage Dragon 241. And this is the first appearance of Captain Tootsie. What a name, right? Awesome. Love it. Love those Savage Dragon issues. Got me a little, maybe a little run starter going there. This is an Alex Ross cover, I believe. This has the first appearance of a bunch of people, but I can't think of it right now. But that's Astro City #1. Look at that price tag, $40. Ain't no way I would buy that for $40, but $2 all day. The Max 23. Yeah, if these wouldn't have been $2, I wouldn't have bought a lot of these. Just kind of like later in the run, low print run, you know, Sam Keith's got that, you know, unique art, I would say. I'm not sure if I like it or not, but, you know, we'll roll with it. Then he had a bunch of Spawn newsstands. And for $2, I'm not passing these up. I got Spawn, the Dark Ages, #5. Spawn, and I actually put these in order to prepare for the video. Spawn, the Dark Ages, #6. Spawn, Dark Ages, #8. Spawn, the Dark Ages, #9. And then Spawn, the Dark Ages, #10. So I got a good chunk of this run, and it's newsstand. Spawn, #11, in a newsstand. So only significant of these are newsstands. So I don't know. I'm moving pretty fast through this, so it might not be a long video. Spawn, the Dark Ages, #13. Spawn, the Dark Ages, #14. Spawn, the Dark Ages, #15. Spawn, the Dark Ages, #16. And then Spawn, the Dark Ages, #18. Is that 50? Oh. Wow, somebody wrote 50 on that. Oh well. So there's a little 50 right here that's written in that. I probably wouldn't have bought that if I would have saw that, but that's okay. Not paying 20 for it. Still a newsstand, so it's all good. I guess it adds character. Then I got these Curse of Spawns, which are newsstands. Awesome Michael Turner covers. So Curse of Spawn #3. Curse of Spawn #4. Curse of Spawn #5. Curse of Spawn #6. Curse of Spawn #7. Got some pretty good runs in this, especially these newsstands. Finding out some of these, I sold a Spawn newsstand #70. Come to find out, that's like one of the rarer ones, and it was in real nice shape. Dude pressed it. Well, my dude that I sold it to somebody else. They pressed it, got a 9.6 out of it. So this is Spawn 70. Not sure if you know what that cover is. I might have showed it in a past video. I probably did, or maybe I didn't. Sometimes I don't show books in my videos, and then I sell them, and then I don't have them there. But basically, he pressed it, got a 9.6. And I think it sold for like $2,700 or something like that. It was ridiculous. That's what I was told. But I just looked on eBay, and one had just sold recently that was rated a 9.2, and this is a newsstand of Spawn 70. Sold for, I think somebody accepted best offer, but the price was $499. And I sold it for Not even close to that. But at the same time, I only found it for $1. Or it might have been $5.95. I can't remember which one that was. But anyways, long story short, made the mistake of selling those. So anytime I see a Spawn newsstand from now on, I'm definitely going to do a lot more research. This is the reason why these might not be worth that much, but if it's a Spawn newsstand, I'm grabbing it. Curse of Spawn number 14. Curse of Spawn number 20. Curse of Spawn number 22, and $2 a piece. I mean, that's like nothing. Curse of Spawn number 23. You know, obviously I would have rather had $1, but I mean, Curse of Spawn number 24. Look at that. What is that? Nice. That's all independent. Nice runs, and I still got more $2 books. So keep rolling here. So that was all Image. We got a lot of Image. That was nice. This is Star Slayer number 10. This is the first appearance of Grimjack. I think it's the first appearance of Black Tom too. But main appearance that everybody gets that for is Grimjack. Then I got League of Extraordinary Gentlemen number 1. So, I mean, $2. Come on. Can't beat that. This is Star Wars Legacy 29. This is the first appearance of... I can't think of who it is. It might be Darth... I should have looked this up, but it's Darth... one of the Darth Lords of the Sith. And then this is another one, Star Wars Legacy number 45. I think his name is Darth Reef. So I've had these books in the past, probably showed them on a past video. But for $2 a piece, I'm not leaving those. Alright, and then we got, the rest is going to be DC and Marvel, and then I'll show the books that I got at my local comic shop. Honestly, I do like the books that I grabbed. Let me throw this out here. I do like the books that I grabbed from my local comic shop, but I probably would have rather got more $2 books from this guy. There's a lot I left behind, and there were so many people digging through those bins. And to me, a lot of times I see these guys grabbing stuff, and like, I don't even know what they're grabbing. Like, are they grabbing runs? Probably, something like that. But man, you're leaving stuff like this behind, and you know, this stuff behind. There was a guy that bought 1,600 books from him. I mean, I wonder what that guy got. But anyway, sorry. Detective 608, First Anarchy. I probably own this book all the time, but for some reason I always grab it. We got Secret Origins starring the Suicide Squad. This is number 14. I think this is the first appearance of Rick Flag Sr. And I think it's a couple origin stories are in there. But more importantly, I bought this because it's like super high grade and it was $2. Got this. This is the Question number 17. This is the first appearance of Rorschach in DC continuity. And then we got Superman number 7, Man of Steel number 17. This is the first cameo of Doomsday. More importantly, it's a newsstand. So $2. So ignore that price on there. All right, we got some Marvel. So that was all the DC books. Then I grabbed Marvel. I just grabbed one of these, but you know, this one's a newsstand. This is Silver Surfer number 82. First full appearance of Tyrant, I think. We got Web of Spider-Man 36. First appearance of Tombstone. $2. This is Rim and Stimpy number 42. I know the print run gets pretty low on this. I don't know if this is valuable. I didn't look anything up, So in the heat of the moment of just grabbing stuff, I was like, well, 42. I think the last issue is 44, so I went ahead and grabbed 42. Also, a pretty cool cover. You know, can't go wrong with Brendan Stippy. I used to watch that when I was younger. We got X-Men 239, that awesome Mr. Sinister cover. Couldn't beat that for $2. And then we got this is actually, I think this came in the mail. I'm not going to show the back, but it has like the address of the person. Let me put it up here. This is Daredevil 380. Not sure if I should slip it out of that or just keep it in there, but this is the final issue of Daredevil, the first series. Then I got X Factor number 5. This is super high grade for $2. First cameo of Apocalypse. Owned this several times. And this is actually the first time I've owned this. It's actually kind of beat up now that I look at it, but for $2. The Thing number 35. This is the first new Miss Marvel, or I think it might be a new costume. I can't remember exactly what that is, but like I said, I didn't look anything up. All right, and then those are all the books that I got from the Tennessee Fan Expo. Pretty good stuff. Had a good time, and you know, it was fun. You know, I thought wouldn't find much at all. Now the 2 books that I bought, and I spent $200 between both of these books. First one was Fantastic Four Annual number 6. This was $50 for a 3.0. Really couldn't pass up on it, and I think this is like a hot book right now. I think Franklin Richards with Fantastic Four and Annihilus will come up into a show or a movie in the future, so this would probably be a good book to pick up if you see it. I've owned this several times, but you know, I usually sell it for when it gets hot. This is the first time I bought it when it is hot, but in this shape, it probably goes around $90. So $50 was a no-brainer on this, so I picked that up. And then the big book that I picked up, you know, I've owned this several times as well, but I've never had this high of a grade. This is Daredevil 168. I paid $150 for this, but it's around a 9.0 to a 9.2. He had a 9.0 on it, but sometimes he can be pretty conservative. But it could get a 9.2. But yeah, I was super happy. Had a lot of fun. Got a lot of good books. Thanks for watching, guys. You guys have a good night. See ya.